Hello learners, I am Sudhir Kumbar, Assistant Professor of Physical Chemistry. Welcome all of you in this lecture number 2nd of series Experiments in Physical Chemistry. Under this title, in this video, I am going to discuss with you one of the point, that is the theory of pH metric titration. As we know that the pH meter, this is the instrument that used for measurement of pH of any unknown solution. Under the physical chemistry practicals, we already learn about the handling of this pH meter. We already running one experiment under the title pH metric titration. This is the weak acid versus strong base. Along with that, we also run the next practical, that is the determination of dissociation constant. So, learners, in this video, I am going to discuss with you about the theory that behind these two different experiments in one video. So, let's start. Learners, in this video, I am going to tell you about the theory of the pH metric titration of weak acid versus strong base. Along with that, we also discussed in this video about the determination of dissociation constant by pH meter. This second point is based on the pH metric titration of weak acid versus strong base. Because of that, I divide this video into two parts. In first part, I am going to tell you about the theory behind the pH metric titration of weak acid versus strong base graph. And in second part, I am going to tell you about the theory of determination of dissociation constant. Here, we discussed weak monobasic acid. These are the instrument called as a digital pH meter. This instrument is used to determine the pH of any solution. So this is the instrument what we used for titration of weak acid versus strong base, and for this titration we measure the pH property of that particular solution. This is the electrode called as a glass electrode, what we required for measurement of the pH along with pH meter. This is called as a combined glass electrode. If you observe the construction of this combined glass electrode, this is the glass membrane, then this is the diaphragm. So outer cover is called as a diaphragm, and in inner glass section you found internal reference electrode, and outer glass section you found a reference electrode. In inner glass area, this internal reference electrode is filled with the internal buffer. Then this has one outlet or inlet, that is called as a filling opening, from which we can fill the required solution in this combined glass electrode. This is the electrode head and this is the lead to meter. So this combined glass electrode is nothing but one of the representation of electrochemical cell. Here we simply construct a one electrochemical cell. Okay, let us understand the representation of this combined glass electrode. This is the internal reference electrode, so that can be situated here. This is the internal reference electrode. What involved in this internal reference electrode? On this side, silver solid slash silver chloride slash Cl minus aqueous slash H plus ions. So this silver wire, this is the silver wire that surrounded with solid silver chloride solution, and the remaining portion is filled with H plus and Cl minus ions. Again, this all these are present inside this glass. Again, or the surface of this glass is called as a glass membrane. So this is the glass membrane. So here the two lines represent the glass membrane. So this glass membrane is here. This is the glass membrane. Then if you dip this assembly into a solution of unknown H plus ion concentration. So this is the solution of unknown H plus ion concentration that present in your beaker. Again, this solution is combined with second outer reference electrode. So that are here. In this way, you can construct a simple electrochemical cell. The difference is here. The two electrodes are constructed in a one glass electrode. Okay, so this single glass electrode has two electrodes, the outer reference electrode and another internal reference electrode. In between these two outer and internal reference electrode, the solution of unknown pH is present. In this way, we can construct simple electrochemical cell. So this internal reference electrode and this is outer reference electrode that present in this combined glass electrode. So this is the actual image of this glass electrode. Now we are going to move towards the graph number first, that is the pH versus volume of NaOH added in ml. After taking readings of this weak acid versus strong base titration, the next job is to prepare a graph of pH versus volume of NaOH added in ml. There are two methods of deciding the equivalence point of this pH metric titration of weak acid versus strong base. The first method is the classical method and second method is the derivative method. Let's start with the classical method, and this is the graph according to the classical method. This classical method is used to determine approximate equivalent point. That means the graph number first, which is pH versus volume of NaOH added in ml, is used for determination of approximate equivalent point. Let's start. Before addition of strong, we have beaker. In that beaker, we take a decided amount of acetic acid. That means in this beaker, two ions are there, H plus and CH3CO minus. As we know that the concentration of H plus ions that related to the pH, this is the inverse relation. Concentration of H plus ion are inversely proportional to pH. What it means? If we found inverse relation between these two quantities, then if we increase first quantity, then second quantity decreases, vice versa. So here, according to this rule, if we increase the concentration of H plus ion, then pH decreases. If you decrease the concentration of H plus ion, pH increases. This rule is used for explanation of this pH versus volume of NaOH added. Here, if concentration of H plus ion increases, pH decreases, and if concentration of H plus ion decreases, pH increases. Okay, so this is the fact what we used for explanation of this pH versus volume of NaOH added graph. So this is the pH versus volume of NaOH added in ml graph. So initially in beaker there is only two ions, H plus and CH3CO minus ions. In beaker the large quantity of H plus ions are there. Because of that, the concentration of H plus ions more initially, therefore the pH decreases. So as soon as we insert the glass electrode in this beaker, you find some value of pH on the digital pH meter. This value is obviously lower. Why? Because the concentration of H plus ions is more and if concentration of H plus ion more, the pH is low. So initially, without addition of strong base NaOH into this solution, that means at 0 ml addition of NaOH, you will get a low pH value instead of high pH value. Okay, so at 0 ml addition or without addition of NaOH, or initially you will get a low pH value. Now in next step we add 1 ml addition of NaOH. What happens when we add 1 ml NaOH into this beaker? There are two possibilities. First possibility is pH increases and second possibility is pH decreases. Here, when you add this NaOH into this acetic acid solution, then you simply add Na plus and OH minus ion into this beaker. Already in beaker H plus and CH3CO minus ions are there. Here simple neutralization reaction takes place, by which you will get CH3CO minus Na plus, called as a sodium acetate, and water. So this is the simple neutralization reaction takes place when you add next ml of NaOH into the beaker containing acetic acid, which is the weak monobasic acid. So after this addition, what happens? Externally you add Na plus into this. So if you observe here, in acetic acid H plus is there. When you add NaOH, this H plus is replaced by Na plus ions. That means here the H plus is removed from this and combined with OH minus ion and form H2O, water molecule. That means the H plus ion are utilized, that result into decrease in concentration of H plus ions. So according to our concept, if concentration of H plus ion decreases, the pH get increases. That means when you add the next ml of NaOH into this solution, the pH is increases. Why? Because here H plus ion concentration decreases, then as per our concept, if it is decreases, then pH increases. Because of that, in next addition of NaOH into this acetic acid solution, the pH you found increases. Again, if you continue this addition of NaOH into this acetic acid solution, and if you measure the pH, you found the decrease in concentration of H plus ion, and as H plus ion decreases, pH increases. Here the simple neutralization reaction proceeds, that result into a decrease in H plus ion, and according to our concept, if concentration of H plus ion decreases, pH increases. So here this is the graph what we get. Okay, so again at equivalence point, what happens? At equivalence point, this neutralization reaction is completed and all H plus ion get consumed and water is to be formed. Here at equivalence point or neutralization point, all H plus ion concentration are equal to the concentration of OH minus ions. So at a result, here you will find the inflection in the pH value, sudden increase in pH value, that result into this point. So this is the sudden increase in pH value. This is called as a equivalence point. At this equivalence point, this neutralization reaction is completed, all H plus ions consumed, and here the concentration of these two ions are equal. Again, what happens when we add NaOH after end point? After end point, we simply add OH minus ions into the solution. There is no any H plus ion left, so only we add OH minus ions. As you know that OH minus ions concentration increases, pH also increases. So after some time you will find the constant value of pH. So this is the graph what we get after addition of NaOH beyond N point. This is the neutralization reaction: acetic acid, NaOH, sodium acetate, and this is the water. Now let's talk about the graph number 2, delta pH upon delta V versus volume of NaOH added in ml. This is the graph according to the second method, that is called as a derivative method. Under this derivative method, this is the graph for first derivative method. So this method is used for determination of accurate equivalence point. So in first derivative method, we plot a delta pH versus volume of NaOH added, and the nature of graph is like this. So here we will get a sharp peak which is called as a equivalence point, and which is the accurate equivalence point. So this is the method from which we will get the accurate equivalence point. So here this is the end of our first part, that is the theory of pH metric titration of weak acid. Now we are moving towards the next part, determination of dissociation constant by using the graphs of the pH metric titration of weak acid versus base. So this titration method is used for determination of dissociation constant of monobasic acid, dibasic acid, etc. So it is very best method for determination of dissociation constant of any acid. Here I am going to discuss only the determination of dissociation constant of monobasic acid, because here we use acetic acid, which is the monobasic acid. Acetic acid, if you dissociate this acetic acid, then you will get acetate ions, CH3COO minus plus H plus ions. For that, if you write a constant, that is called as a Ka, this is called as a dissociation constant, is equal to concentration of CH3COO minus ion multiplied by concentration of H plus ion divided by CH3COOH concentration. So this is the constant for this dissociation reaction of acetic acid, called as a dissociation constant for this acetic acid. If you write the Henderson equation, this is the basic well-known equation. This is the pH is equal to pKa plus log of concentration of salt upon concentration of acid. In this acetic acid case, this equation becomes as pH is equal to pKa plus log of concentration of sodium acetate, which is the salt, and concentration of acetic acid, which is the monobasic weak acid. So this is the Henderson equation. In next step, the graph of pH metric titration of acetic acid versus NaOH. Here this is the equivalence point, and we will take a half of this equivalence point here. From this we will draw a line up to this curve, and from this curve we draw a line on the y-axis. We know that on the y-axis, which is the pH, so here we will get a pH value. Let's say this pH value is called as a A. At half of the neutralization point, the concentration of CH3COOH, that is acetic acid, is same as the concentration of sodium acetate. These two values are equal. When we insert this concept into the Henderson equation, here the ratio of sodium acetate to the acetic acid, it becomes 0 when we insert this or we use this concept. Log 0, as you know that it is 1. So here automatically the pH become pKa when the concentration of acetic acid is equal to the concentration of sodium acetate, and this situation is only possible at half of neutralization point. Therefore, or because of that, we will take half of this equivalence point, or we consider here half of equivalence point, and at half of equivalence point the pH become pKa value of this particular acid. So in this case, the pH what we get at half of neutralization point or half of equivalence point is nothing but the pKa of CH3COH. So at half of equivalence point, whatever value of pH you will get, this is nothing but the pKa of the acetic acid for this case. So here pH is equal to minus log of Ka. As you know that pKa is nothing but minus log of Ka. Here Ka is the dissociation constant. Again we rearrange this equation. Log Ka is equal to minus pH at half of equivalence point. At half of this equivalence point, the minus pH is nothing but the log Ka. So here log Ka is equal to minus A, as this pH is nothing but A, what we used in your calculation, or instead of A we also write this value also. So if you simply take a antilog of this term minus A, then you will get a value of Ka. This is your M, that is the dissociation constant of this acetic acid. Here you simply put this value into this last equation. That means if you take the antilog of this minus antilog of this value, then you will get a value of Ka, that is the dissociation constant. Okay, in this simple way we can use the knowledge of this pH metric titration for determination of the dissociation constant of weak monobasic acid, that is the acetic acid. Thank you very much.